Yes, I'm Tomi Huhtanen, Executive Director of the Martens Center. First, thank you, Mr. Dimas Christos, for coming. Looking forward to seeing you soon, hopefully in Sintasma having coffee than online, but what we have. And Mr. Collins, thank you very much on your excellent presentation. I keep it very short. It's because it's for Mr. Collins. You very rightly mentioned this issue of Australia-Facebook conflict, and because it's very important, because this is not, we had actually, Facebook had already kind of hinted that they could do similar moves vis-a-vis whole European Union. So my question is, what do you make of this agreement or kind of compromise which they reached? I tried to see a little bit the legislative changes which they made, but I could not interpret exactly who won and what does this mean for the future. So this compromise, what do you think about it?
So I think Australia has largely won this. And the reason is that the Facebook have agreed to go into talks with news companies to pay them, compensate them. And there is, in the legislation the Australian Parliament is passing, there is still the resolution mechanism, which is independent arbitration by the regulator. So ultimately the legislation says the regulator can set the level of compensation that's required. What Facebook has got is a bit more time to complete this, and also a sense that it doesn't necessarily have to be like pay-per-click compensation. There could be, Facebook could find another solution where it'll offer effectively something that has a certain value to the news industry and do a deal with publishers in order to agree that. So they've got a bit more flexibility on how they meet the demand. But the basic demand was of really Google and Facebook, we want you to compensate publishers really for loss of advertising and the fact that your content can be freely available on their platform and they get nothing back from it. And effectively now both companies have agreed to do it. So I think and neither would have done without the Australian government legislating to do it. And I think it shows that when Parliament's prepared to pass laws and give regulators powers, the companies have to respond. They can't just ignore it because enforcement measures can be taken against them. And so I think the deal that's been done is a sort of, it's got people back from the brink, but I think actually the Australian government's largely got what it wanted out of this.